Alright, today I'm going to show you how to oil your spinning reel. This is a pretty simple process. It's really a lot quicker than a bait caster. So the first thing you got to do is take it apart. I usually put a piece of tape on here if I have line on it, that way it doesn't get all wound around. Then you'll just loosen your drag up all the way. Once you got that loose, that drag cap will just pop right off. Set it aside. Then you just lift your line spool off there. You can leave this part on. That's part of your drag. Not a big deal. So I'll go ahead and break this reel down completely. I'll take this cap off over here on this side. Set it aside. And then this handle you will turn counterclockwise and unscrew it. Now this is the way a lot of reels work. Some of them, once you undo that cap, that will just slide off there, but most of them screw on. So this is a Johnny Morris Carbonlite 2.0 reel, and it comes from Bass Pro Shops. Now, what you're going to want to oil here, there's a bearing right down here. Put your drop on there, right there. Spin that a little bit just to get it lubricated there. Okay, now you'll see right here on your drag there's another bearing. You can work that around there a little bit. Get that oil to get down in there. Now, you're also going to want to oil this bearing right here where your handle was. One drop's plenty. Spin this. You can see when you spin it, that handle shaft turns. Now you flip it over, do this bearing on the other side where your cap was. Spin that. Get that oil worked down in there real good. Now, I'm going to put a little bit. I don't do this every time, but once in a while, you put a little bit right down here on your bail. And then you can move that back and forth. And then I'll use a Q-tip to get the excess oil off there. A Q-tip works really great too if your reel gets real dirty. This is a fairly new reel, but if you have dirt or grime down here, you know, you can take this Q-tip and wipe that stuff off real easy. So they come in pretty handy. Now once you've got that done, you're done with this reel. You can oil right here next to your handle. It's not a bad idea once in a while. I don't do this every time either because it tends to collect a little dust once in a while. So I try not to oil it more than necessary right there. But if it's getting stiff or anything on you, go ahead and do it. So once you work that down in there, you just wipe that excess off. And now you can start putting this thing back together. You can see your shaft is a little bit square or rectangular there. So you can put this spool right back on it and you just have to line up that hole. Now one other thing I'm going to mention is right down in here where your drag works, you can grease that as well. Now Ardent reel butter is what I use as far as the oil. They also make grease for spots like that. I'd rather put grease in there than the oil. A lot of people ask me what I use for this, and Ardent reel butter, you can get this just about anywhere. You can get it at Academy, you can get it at Bass Pro, you can even get it at Walmart. So it's commonly available and it works really good. So just line up your shaft there and then slide this back over. You'll kind of get that back down in there where it belongs. And then you can put this cap back on for your drag adjustment. Screw that back down there, and I'll adjust my drag on the water, but I'll get it close just in case I forget and get a fish. It won't take a whole lot of movement there. Okay, so you've got that back together. So now I'll go ahead and put my reel handle back on. You're going to turn it clockwise to put it back on. Now it don't have to be real tight, just get it snug there. And then you'll put your cap back on. Now what's important about these caps is a lot of them are plastic and you don't want to cross thread them. So you got to make sure that you have that straight. And for some reason, this is one of the toughest ones to get straight that I've ever dealt with, but maybe the more I take it off and put it on, the better it'll get. Snug that up a little bit because they're notorious for coming off. Okay, so you've got your reel working good now. Spins really well. And that's all there is to it, guys. Just oil one, you know, depending on how much you use it. I'll usually try to do this once a month or so. If it gets stiff out on the water or something, I'm going to bring it in and go through it again. But that's all there is to it. Hope this helped you out. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do so now. If this video helped you out, give me a like, give me a thumbs up, and until next time, go fish.